Coming up on this week's episode, we are very sorry. We missed last week, and we're so sorry about it. Plus, because of it, I've made Kai lose his voice. All on this week's episode of... My name is Fraser.
And my name is Kai.
And we are back after a week break.
Hello.
Why were we gone? I don't know.
Why were we gone? I think we just had a bad schedule this week.
Kai was busy on the start of the normal time frame that we record the podcast in. I was then busy on the second half of the time frame that we normally record it in. So we just didn't have time last week. So we're here this week. We're going to make up for it. But I have told Kai off by making him lose his voice. I haven't. He's just gone and lost himself because he felt like it. So if you hear a little bit of croaky, a little bit of squeakiness, it's because Kai's got a sore throat. Don't worry, it's not COVID, I think.
No, I've tested. No. All good.
Good. So yes, that would be why Kai sounds a little bit croaky this week. But we're going to carry on as normal. We've got loads to talk about this week. In fact, we were literally just talking about how I've been desperate for a Coke today. Kai, just before I said, my name is Fraser, opened up a bottle of Coke. And I was like, is that Coke? And then he went, yeah. And I was like, oh, I really want some. Because I was just having visualizations of how the adverts always have like cold water running down the edge. And then Kai said, you should go to Tesco right now and get some. But you know what's weird about Tesco? Which, I mean, it's quite cool about Tesco. Do you know what's cool about Tesco?
Go on.
The club card scheme. With a club card, you have to pay like 27p. Without a club card, you have to pay £98, your firstborn, and a leg.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Good
kind of like...
I got sent like 1,000 club cards earlier this year, isn't it?
Yeah, you can pick any one of them.
Yeah. Pretty good.
So, at this point, you might as well be part of the club card scheme. But that's not even what we were originally going to talk about. We've got a few things to talk about today. And one of them is pretty cool. And by that I mean, I didn't go, Kai didn't go, my brother went. But
I'm trying to look at which one you're on about, but...
the Reading and Leeds Music Festival went ahead last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, when this episode goes live, actually.
It was.
Yeah, it went ahead. It was the first major music event of that size, that scale. There has been other music events going on, but this is the first one of that size that has gone ahead since restrictions have eased. Did you watch any of it, Kai?
You know what? I didn't, but I saw some people on TikTok sharing videos of it and stuff.
Oh, there was loads. There was.
Yeah, I haven't really been around on social media too much the last few weeks, so
that's fair.
Yeah.
No, there was quite a lot. There was quite a lot of artists that went to both Reading and Leeds. KSI being one of the ones that most people will know, being part of the internet and the content creation scene. He actually played at both Reading and Leeds, and even when he went to Reading, he brought the Sidemen out on stage, and the crowds were absolutely insane.
That's mad.
Like, I saw this video. There's quite a few videos of KSI on stage, but there was a video of when a Sidemen came out on stage and they were filming the crowd, and literally it was a full festival crowd for KSI. And to think he came from being a FIFA YouTuber, he's made moves.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it, to see how far like people like him have come, for example. It's really weird.
Yeah, literally.
Because I guess you look back however long ago, like before we were alive and stuff, and the way to do it was, pub into a small venue, supporting artists and whatever else, so on, until you get to that level. Whereas nowadays it could be, you're on YouTube, next thing you're in a stadium or in a festival or something like that. It's really weird.
Literally. So
the
to
dream,
actually
though.
To see that progress, hey, you say the dream is completely possible. He started out as a FIFA YouTuber, and then got to where he is now, and then he made his way into the music scene. You started out doing what's that game called? Before Club Penguin. Before that.
No, I started with Club Penguin.
Oh, okay, no, it was Club Penguin. What was the one after? Chobots.
That's the one.
Chobots, that's it. So you started off with that, you now got 100 odd K, and you could easily get it there.
Yeah. See me there next year.
There was loads and loads of artists there, though. Some, to name a few of them, there was Stormzy, there was Post Malone, Two Door Cinema Club. This is literally just like a few out of, I think there's probably about 100, maybe 90.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like I knew Liam Gallagher was there as well.
he was there as well. There was Youngblood as well. Who else would people know? Because there's quite a few names that people wouldn't know because they're like on the indie stages. But Sigrid,
after that.
she's really popular as well. Sigrid is really good. Sam Fender and H, they're both quite popular. AJ Tracy, yo, is the Hangman set? Sorry, I need to shut up now. Yeah, there was loads and loads of people there. And for it to all be completely sold out, still, even with the pandemic going on, yeah, it was crazy to see the crowds and see like a sense of normality. Whilst I wasn't there, and whilst we still don't know what's happened in terms of the impact of COVID on the event, it was still really, really cool to listen to. Although, there is one part of it which I'm unsure about. It's nothing to do with the event, it's to do with the people that went.
Yep.
I think you might know what I'm about to say here. There was a few people bragging about the fact that they had COVID and they were going anyway.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And it's just like, come on. We get why, but at the same time,
just don't.
It's irresponsible.
Yeah. Just don't do it. It ruins everything for everyone else.
Literally. And for the people that have been completely responsible, like my brother, for example, he's been completely responsible throughout the whole pandemic. He wants to go there as a treat whilst, staying safe and all of that. That puts people like him in danger, so it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Tying this in to some other news, though, there's been, I'm not sure if you've seen, Kai, but there's been a massive hurricane that's been going around America.
Is that on the East Coast?
Yes.
No, I've not seen any of it.
Have you not?
I've seen little jokes, little bits. Sorry, I made a joke and I don't think you got it to start with.
No, I missed it. What?
No,
what was the
okay,
joke?
Don't worry. No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The joke was, I said, what, on the East Coast? And you said, yeah. And I said, no, I'd never heard of it. Even though I just said where it was.
That went right over my head. My brain's got like 2 kilobytes of RAM and okay.
Oh, that's
it was
quite
still
small.
It was still processing the word east.
East?
Yeah, instead of west. Of course we both think of that.
We're still children at heart.
Exactly. There's been Hurricanes Ida and Nora that have both been rampaging around. I think Hurricane Ida's been the big one, but there's been absolutely loads of havoc. It's been going from, I think it's been going from like the south-ish to the east, or it's like the east side. I don't know, generally. But the main thing that's been going around on Twitter, at least what's been going around on UK Twitter anyway, because we don't always get American news, is the insane aftermath of what's happening in New York City right now. Have you seen any of the videos?
You know what? You know our friend Mads?
Yep.
He shared a picture yesterday on his Snapchat, I believe.
Oh, really?
And because his entire road is flooded.
No way.
I think that was yesterday. It was either on Snapchat or Instagram, one or two.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
because he lives in New York now.
He does.
So because he used to live in LA and he used to live in the UK as well for most of his life, but now he lives in New York. And yeah, I saw his entire road was flooded and cars were like submerged a bit.
That's crazy stuff.
Yeah,
it's
kind of worrying, isn't it?
There wasn't just cars submerged, there was so much going on. So some of the videos I saw on Twitter, there was this, I think it was a journalist that posted a thread of a bunch of different videos from different angles. One of my favorites of them all was this guy was floating along on a little lilo whilst either, I can't remember what it was either reading a book or drinking beer or something in the floodwater. And I was like, that man knows what he's doing. He is living the life. I mean, it's very, very dangerous and unfortunately people have died. But that guy, he was in an alleyway floating along in this lilo. Absolutely hilarious. But no, it's not all good news though. As you said, there were cars that were completely submerged underwater. There were videos of the subway completely not getting submerged, but there was like water flying down the stairs and it going through the floor and raining on top of the trains. And I think what didn't help is because it was so flooded, the sewers and stuff were overflowing, so it was gushing water out into the road. And yeah, there was just so much havoc. There was a couple of videos as well of people showing their perspectives from inside their buildings.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was horrible. Literally, one lady opened up her door and she had a block in front of her door, but it went above the block and it started completely flooding the house. The house was already flooded, so that's why she did it. But it started completely flooding the house. And another guy who was clearly a little bit below ground level, he had his door shut, but there was still water like gushing in around the door. And his bedroom was flooded, his kitchen was flooded, the gym was flooded. There's so much that's been going on over there. It's horrible to see.
And then you got on the other side of the country as well, where there's fires in California still.
Yeah.
Which is
crazy stuff going on over there. I think what they should do is they should get a gigantic bucket, put all the water in the bucket, and pour it over the fires.
You know what? That's quite a sensible idea, Fraser.
Yeah, I think that would work, wouldn't it?
I mean, it would, but it might be heavy.
I was going to say, I don't think there's a bucket of that size.
Oh, there definitely is.
Oh my god, is that a world record for the world's largest bucket?
Shall I have a look?
I guess it's like a swimming pool, isn't it? If you could lift a swimming pool somehow, that could be a bucket. A swimming pool size bucket. Go on. There's got to be a world record.
The world's largest cedar bucket. Caesar?
Caesar? What's a
C-E-D-A-R?
Caesar bucket? Say that again.
C-E-D-A-R? Caesar?
Oh, cedar wood.
Cedar, yeah. Cedar. The world's largest cedar bucket is a 1,556 imperial gallons red cedar bucket in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The bucket is approximately 6 feet tall by 6 feet at its base and 9 feet at its top.
Which is 7,000 litres.
Yes.
And a swimming pool contains...
a lot more.
Well, an Olympic-sized swimming pool contains 2.5 million litres.
Yes.
So... I still think we could have a flying swimming pool here.
Oh, I mean, why not?
Yeah, that would completely solve the issue in at least a swimming pool sized area. Anyway. What would you do?
If you're there, stay safe, because that's important.
It is very important to stay safe. Be that guy floating around on the Lilo, but do it safely. If you could do something funny in a flood or hurricane to survive it, just like the Lilo guy, what would you do?
I get my guitar out and start singing songs down the river about how I don't want to drown.
Perfect.
What would you do?
I think I'd get a bathtub.
Yeah.
Put it in the floodwater. Not fill up the bath, but the bathtub can be the boat.
So you just float around in that.
Exactly. And it'd be the complete opposite. Normally it's supposed to be no water outside the bath and water inside the bath. But instead, it's water outside the bath and no water inside the bath.
Would you bring a rubber ducky with you as well?
It would be illegal not to.
Yes. Good.
So yeah, that's what we would do to survive a flood or hurricane. Although I don't think a bath would be really effective in a hurricane.
It might just go poof
just go flying.
The water, or just fly up into the sky.
You and your guitar, I mean, it might snatch the guitar from you.
Oh no, I'm clinging on for dear life to that. That's my support.
Oh, you'll go with it. So I'm going to fly away in a bathtub and you're going to fly away clinging onto a guitar.
Yeah, you know how like a witch goes on a broom? You go in a bath, I go on a guitar.
The Wizard of Oz got weird, didn't it?
Yeah, it did a little bit.
Anyway, so that's what's been going on in the world, and it's been nice to see everything that's gone on in the world in the UK. Not very nice to see everything that's gone on in America, so as Kai said, stay safe over there. I think that's kind of like a mini topic of the week. We didn't have an official topic of the week this week because we couldn't find any new suggestions on Twitter. So make sure you tweet us at Stuck in a Podcast with ideas for topic of the week. Basically, what we want is stuff that we can thoroughly talk about. So we don't need like a debate. We don't need controversial topics. We don't need things that may be difficult to talk about. But basically, we want a topic to talk about that we can be going on about for ages. So, for example, one of our favourite ones so far is what is the worst movie you've ever watched, but what was your favourite thing about it? That was a really fun topic to talk about.
That was a good one.
So we want things like that. So tweet us at Stuck in a Podcast with your topic of the week. It is currently the temporary-ish replacement for the hidden word. So yeah, make sure you tweet us at Stuck in a Podcast with your topic of the week.
Ooh.
Anyway, so yeah, obviously with us missing out last week, there's a few things that we did during that week. And there's a few things that we've done this week. I mean, this week I've got nothing planned, to be honest. There's nothing going on the weekend for me. Mainly everything happened last week. What did you go up to last week, Kai?
Last week, my mum came and visited.
Nice.
As of us recording, I have just said goodbye to her today. Because I won't be seeing her probably for another month or so, probably a bit more.
Yeah.
And we had a lovely time, to be fair. It was nice to see her as always. And to start with, we went down to Eastbourne.
Oh yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, up near Brighton, or down near Brighton even. About a 2-hour drive from where I live.
That's not right.
It was, but it was worth it because we went and saw a play called, or a theatre show even, called The Play That Goes Wrong.
I've heard good things about that.
So funny, you have to see it. I'll come and see it with you if you want.
Alright, I'm down, let's go.
Yeah, right now. Thanks everyone, see you later.
See you all later. This podcast that goes
really
wrong.
Good. But yeah, that was really, really fun and like really funny. There was a lot of things in it that were just so stupid and like classic humor, you know, for us. There's a character called Cecil in it who is just the funniest guy ever. And yeah, we did that on Monday, and then we did that on Monday. Yeah. Can't remember what we did on Tuesday, but we did something, and it's gone from my mind. Whatever it was, but we did something.
Fair enough.
Wednesday, went to the zoo.
Lovely.
Went to a place called Port Lim, which is down by Folkestone.
That sounds like a different zoo that you normally go to.
That is a different zoo, yes.
Nice. Because
it's one of like the only ones that I haven't really been to, or none of us have really been to in at least like 10, 11 years.
Oh wow. Bet a lot's changed.
I couldn't tell you. Like literally it's so different to not I don't really recognise any of it except for one bit, and I only recognised one bit when I got to it. Do you know, like, quite a long time ago there was a massive news story about a walking gorilla?
Oh, don't they all walk?
But like walked on its 2 back legs only. Like
oh no, I haven't seen that one.
Never. That was like a huge thing, like, I don't know, probably over 10 years ago at this point.
Well, the only huge gorilla story I've seen is Harambe. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, fair. But no, this gorilla literally lives in this zoo, and didn't see it. And it was like, it was as if every single animal hated us. The first thing we saw when we got there was a lion enclosure, and they were all just snacking on their food, which was lovely. Then we saw a tiger, which was tiger. Also, I think it was having a little swim. And then we got a bit lost.
Oh.
Because there's no maps anywhere in the whole location. They give you a map. They let you take a picture of a map when you get there. But then when we took a picture of the map, it just didn't really look right. So
that's stupid.
Yeah, and there was no sign postage really. So we kept following signs kept following just like routes and ending up nowhere. But then eventually we worked out where we were going, and you see all these enclosures and stuff with animals in, but the animals just could not give a shit about us.
It was a complete opposite zoo.
See us. Exactly. Like every time we got out the camera, for example, like a camera to take a picture of like one that we did see, it would fuck off.
Amazing.
It was just to say like, oh no, not you. But yeah. Otherwise, the only thing I got a picture of was a palace cat.
A palace cat? What's a palace cat?
Kind of looks like a monkey and a cat have had a baby.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to Google that.
Yeah, it was a cool thing. At first I didn't see it, and then a guy that worked there said, there it is. And I was like, oh. But that was
wow.
one of the only things I saw.
It's like a big, fluffy, leopardy monkey
Cat.
cat.
Yeah. It
So
is the size of a
strange.
cat as well. So
God,
it
that's
is
so
very odd.
cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool, that cat. But I think that was one of the only things that we saw. Which is bad because, you know, we spent quite a bit to get in. If you're ever going to a zoo in Kent, I can recommend Wingham Wildlife Park because you'll actually see everything. And like, I think one of the things that was bad about this one is, you know how like you've got like they've got their enclosure, which is fine and whatever
Yeah.
else, and then usually they have like another thing, or sometimes they have another thing in front of it so that you can't get too close to the side of the cage and whatever else. Well, these ones they had that, but the gap between the cage or the enclosure and the like bar or whatever for you to stand against was really far away from
Oh, really?
like each other, so it's hard just to see anything in general.
That's a
But
shame.
yeah, otherwise it was all right. But yeah,
Good.
Wingham Wildlife Park, that's the one to go to if you're ever needing to go to one or want to go to one.
Well, sounds like you had a good time.
Yeah, but then yesterday we saw some old family that we haven't seen in about 13 years, which was nice.
Lovely.
And we end up going to Harry Potter World up in Hemel Hempstead in London.
Oh, nice. It's so nice there.
It is. Have you been?
Yeah, I've only ever been once.
It's cool, isn't it?
And it was not long after it first opened, so there's a few things that were closed, but yeah, no, I absolutely love going. I'd love to go again.
Yeah, be good. They're doing something on Slytherin at the moment, which is pretty
really?
cool because, you know, that's mine.
You're a Slytherin.
am.
No.
But yeah,
Why are you
otherwise,
Squidward?
I'm Slytherin. But yeah, that was really good. And some guy was like talking, like we got an Uber there and an Uber back just because it saved us having to drive and whatever else and work out parking.
Yeah.
And some guy was like telling us about his child and whatever else going off to uni, like the driver, and we were like, oh yeah. And he was like, where are you from? To my mum and her partner. And they're like, oh, we're up near Edinburgh. He's like, oh, I was there 2 weeks ago. And then started going on about that. And then he was like, my son's going to Canterbury to the university there. And my mum was like, oh yeah, that's kind of where we're from originally. And he was like, oh, I went there last week. And started telling us all about his time there. And he's like, I cross over the hill, I see the cathedral,
Oh my God.
and then when I get down, I cannot find the cathedral. And
Sounds like
he
a
ended
right
up-
happy chap.
Oh, he was a lovely, funny guy. But yeah, he was like the highlight of that trip.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, today I had a Sainsbury's.
You had a Sainsbury's.
Yep.
You bought a Sainsbury's.
Yep.
Congratulations on your new franchise, Kai.
No, it's not new.
Oh. Okay, well, congratulations.
Thanks, Fraser. What have you been up to though?
No, well, I've been up to nothing too exciting. I went into work last week, which, I mean, I was very productive, to be honest. It was very good to go in. But the main highlights of last week for me, or the one highlight for me, was I bought a brand new iPad. Woohoo! There was this really good deal that was going on where I just kind of had to do it. I could trade in my old iPad, which was an iPad Mini 2, which is like almost 8 years old. And
Ancient.
yeah, ancient, literally. It's only worth £47 if you trade in normally. But because there was a deal on where they said if you buy an iPad, anything you trade in will be worth at least £150. I was like, say no more. So I traded in my iPad and got £150 off the price of this one. So I paid £349 instead of $499, which is an absolute bargain.
Yeah.
And it's been nice to have it, to be honest. I've been using it so much. I mean, obviously a lot of it is going to be our new toy vanity, so I know that I'm probably gonna calm down with it. But at the same time, it is nice, like, always have it on standby, like, because it's got a much bigger screen. I was able to edit podcast notes whilst I was working. I was able to. Well, so I've set up all my email stuff now, and it's actually really easy to reply to emails and stuff. So I'm just like, oh well, I'm gonna use that going forward then. And it came with like a bunch of free subscriptions to all the Apple crap. So there's Apple News Plus. Won't use that, but I'm going to use it anyway because why not? There's Apple Music, which, I mean, I'm more of a Spotify person. I don't have Spotify Premium, so Apple Music will come in useful at the moment whilst I don't have Spotify Premium.
Do you not have Spotify Premium?
I used to, but then when the pandemic happened, I just like stopped.
Fair enough.
Because, yeah, I just stopped listening to music on the go, and I don't really mind listening to ads too much at home because it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, fair enough.
And, yeah, there's also Apple Arcade, and I thought Apple Arcade was going to be a massive load of crap, and in a way, it's not amazing, but there are quite a lot of games on Apple Arcade, and it is nice to be able to play, like, some high-class games without having any ads.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the games also don't have in-app purchases, or at least the ones I've seen anyway.
Right.
So there's quite a lot of like games which are games where it's just going to bring you a little bit of nostalgia. Like there's a Angry Birds Reloaded game or something. There's a couple of other games where you're like, oh look, this is absolute classic, cut the rope and stuff. And it's stuff like that where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to download it.
Doodle Jump.
I think Doodle Jump might actually be on there.
Yeah, good game.
But then there's a few other games which you actually can find on Steam. And they're actually quite good. One of them that I've been playing, I don't think this is the actual name of it on Steam, but there's a game here called Mini Motorways.
Right.
And the only thing I can associate with is we had a friend that used to play a game which was like, I think it was Mini Metro, I think it was, the game on Steam. Mini Motorways is kind of like the equivalent of that, and it's quite nice to play that because it's quite relaxing and chilled out. But there are some other high class games. There's Sonic Racing, which I haven't yet played, but I want to play it. There's a few like really good racing games as well that are one here is called Asphalt 8, but they're like more branded ones. And then there's a couple where you're like, oh well, this looks a little bit crap, but for the games I've played so far, it look all right.
That's good.
But it's oh god, yeah. Well, there's the voice crack. I was wondering if we were going to get that at all this episode. We finally did.
I turned into an eagle or something for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's other than having the free trial, which is good. I don't think I'd see myself paying for it outside of it because it's a bit of an excuse to put a price tag on a game or like unlimited games. That you probably wouldn't play, and then the ones you do play, it's basically paying a recurring subscription to continue to have access to that game. So
yeah,
I'm not sure how I feel about it generally, but it is nice to be able to play the games on here whilst I have access via the trial.
That's fair.
But other than that, no, it's been a nice couple of relaxing weeks though. I've got nothing planned this weekend as well. My life is back to chilling out for a little bit and somehow trying to get over this creative block, which currently isn't happening. It's a bit of a weird situation to be in because like I'm like, I want to do stuff, but then when I go around to do stuff, I'm like, I'm not motivated to do it. And like even the clips channel has dried up a bit now. I haven't posted any clips, and that's been like routinely scheduled for quite a few months now. So I'm really struggling to get over this creative block, and you know, I'm just considering all options available to me. Not obviously saying I will, but obviously I've been thinking about do I finish now? Is this it? But I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening. I doubt that will happen, but if it comes to it, then
I guess you could take a bit more of a relaxed approach to it all.
Well, that's it. But I don't want to, lose what I've gained so far. But at the same time, putting in all the effort, I haven't exactly gained anything over the last year on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to decide what is the right thing to do because you put in the effort and I've still managed to lose over the last year. And I'm not putting in effort and I'm still losing, but, I'm getting the exact same result, but I don't have to do anything to get it.
Yeah, I get that.
So my brain's like, well, this is the same thing and it's less effort. So it's tough. I don't know. I'll somehow come out the other side of it eventually.
Yeah,
but for for now, I've still got the streams going and I've still got the podcast going, and I think that's fine for now. That's the bare minimum I want to do. And I do want to bring things back up, but I do want to still keep going with 2 forms of content weekly, which is good.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Anyway, I think we're going to end off this week's episode now. We're going to give Kai's voice a little bit of a break because, of course, as you've heard throughout this episode, he's been a little bit croaky.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we're going to give it a little bit of a rest now. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of... Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Stuck in a Podcast. Follow us right here on Spotify as well. Make sure you turn on notifications right here on Spotify. Also, make sure, and we really would like, if you could also please share this podcast with your friends and your family, and when you think they might be interested. And if you do refer someone to the podcast, tag them. Tweet us at Stuck in a Podcast. Tag them and say, I've introduced this person. And we'll shout you both out. Because we like it when people talk about the podcast, and we really do appreciate the people that love the podcast sharing it with others. So thanks to everybody that does share the podcast with your friends, your family, and all of that jazz. Maybe even your cat. Follow us on our personal Twitters at FraserIRL, at KaiRussBest. We upload a new episode every single Wednesday, unless for some reason scheduling goes wrong, right here on Spotify. So make sure you follow us right here to get notified as to when we upload a new episode. And obviously we publish it on Twitter as well as our personal Discords. irl.yt/discord if you want to join mine. I don't have a fancy link for Kai's, but his is somewhere.
Yeah, I don't have a fancy link either, so good luck.
Anyway, I think that's about it for this week. Anything else you want to say or squeak?
Hold on. No, not really.
Anyway, until next week, thanks so much for listening, and don't forget, don't lose your voice, bitch. Go and find it.
Gone?
Bitch. Yeah, it's gone somewhere. Bitch.
Where's
Under
it gone?
your couch.
Bitch.
Under
my couch. Bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
Oh, bitch.
Okay, now say it. Bye, bitch.
Bye, bitch.